right.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the We'll See You Later podcast, coming to you live from the We'll See You Later studios at Happy's Energy and Nutrition, home of the greatest energy and nutrition on the entire planet. My name is Willie Ray.
And my name is Jeremy, and boy, do we have a show today. It's a good day to be a hog. I'll say that.
We need to take care of a little personal business first.
We can. Let
Ladies
the fine
and
folks
gentlemen, Jeremy's going to take the week off next week as editor of this podcast because there won't be any editing. We're going live.
We are going
We're
live.
going live for the first time ever on YouTube.com right here. The We'll See You Later podcast goes live for the first time ever. And we're doing it on Selection Monday. So the day that we find out who's coming to Fayetteville for the Fayetteville Regional, where do the Hogs rank as far as national seeding, what regional are we paired up with, all the bracket stuff that they do for college baseball, we're going live and we'll have all the coverage for you. I can't wait.
I cannot wait. I'm excited. Really excited.
Selection Monday, probably my favorite day of the sports calendar. Just because I love college baseball. And I think college baseball is the most fun as far as the postseason. To crown a champion, it's my favorite sporting event. And this can only happen because we now have enough subscribers to do so.
That's right. So thanks to you guys.
We love you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
We have a small following, but we are mighty. Don't put that in there. But we have a small.
What is this, a Little Giants?
Yeah.
What is this?
We have a small following, but every one of you guys means something to us. You guys could literally go anywhere in a environment that is saturated with college sports coverage. You guys could go anywhere to listen to anybody talk about hog sports, and you choose us. So it means a lot to us.
It does. It means the world. I've never heard Will say mighty. It sounded weird.
You're mighty stupid.
We'll see you next week, literally, so you guys can talk trash to us, ask us questions.
There will be a live chat
back and forth
because it's live. There will actually be a chat for you guys to jump in and communicate with us. And this is not possible without the number of subscribers that we have. We wanted to do this for months, but we had to get the numbers up, and you guys have done that. So we wanted to reward you. Not sure if this will be an every week thing
yet.
Eventually, we would love for it to be.
Yes.
So Jeremy could retire as editor in chief of this podcast and just be an on-air talent.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite co-host from the We'll See You Later podcast. This is Willie Ray. This episode of We'll See You Later was brought to you by our friends at Foul Play Golf. Founded by Arkansas native Grant Roberts, Foul Play Golf is a burgeoning apparel company meant for those of us who will never break 100 on the golf course. That's me, and don't be ashamed. I know it's you too. Above average apparel for the below average golfer. Jeremy and I have already placed orders. You can too by visiting their website at www.foulplaygolf.com. That's www.foulplaygolf.com. Foul Play Golf, where we break rules, not par. So as big a week as the baseball team had, they're not top billing this week. Top billing has to go to the ladies of the Arkansas Razorback softball team. Your number 4 national seed.
Number 4.
The regional that just went out of Fayetteville. From 1 to 4, you had our Hogs at 1. You had Oklahoma State at 2. You had the Indiana Lady Hoosiers at 3. And you had St. Louis at 4. Arkansas plays St. Louis in the first game. Run rule them 10-0 in 5 innings behind a no-hitter from freshman Peyton Burnham. Freshman goes 5 innings, 66 pitches, a goose egg in the hit column. Not a bad start.
Retired 15 of 17.
Not a bad start. And then they asked her, they said, when's the last time you threw a no-hitter? She said, I don't know, all the way back in high school. That was less than a year ago, Jeremy.
Yeah, she's a freshman.
So congratulations to Peyton. Big ups there. 10-0 victory. Then we have probably the game of the tournament so far. Arkansas's first game against Oklahoma State.
That was awesome.
Arkansas did not play well for 6 1/3. They were down, 4 or 5 runs with 1 out in the 7th.
It was like 6-1.
And they put a rally together.
They were down 6-1. They tied it up in the 6th, and then they won it in the 7th.
They tie it up in the 6th. It goes to the 7th, and they end up walking them off in the 7th inning. Courtney Day with a walk-off base hit. Electric atmosphere. And to see Courtney Deifel was my favorite part of that because you could just tell that meant a lot to her.
Oh, it did.
That her kids didn't quit.
They doubled down.
And she actually said, as long as there's outs, they think we have a chance. How do you not dig that? So they wait to see if Oklahoma State beats Indiana. Of course they do. Yesterday, had about a 4.5 hour rain delay before it actually starts.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mother Nature. But Arkansas comes out with their foot on the pedal from the word go and ends up winning this one 12-0. I got to give a shout out to Italia Rio. 8 for her last 8. 8 for 8 in the 2 games against Oklahoma State. The bottom of the lineup, 7, 8, and 9, had 10 RBIs yesterday out of 12 runs.
That's insane.
So Arkansas advances to the Super Regionals. They're going to get an upset here. Arizona was hosting out in Tucson, got knocked off by the Ole Miss Rebels. So we've got an SEC matchup in the Super Regionals next weekend. Your Hogs versus the Lady Rebels of Ole Miss for a spot in Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series. This will be Arkansas's first time ever. This is huge.
The Lady Hogs did lose the series at Ole Miss this year.
That was very early in the conference season.
Very early. That was early March. That was actually opening weekend.
The most impressive part for me this weekend, have you noticed out of all the people that I've named, I've not said Brie Ellis one time?
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because she was hitless.
Yeah. They walked her like crazy.
The only time she got on base was walking. She was hitless on the weekend. What does that say about the people around her getting the job done? The women behind her protecting her, the girls in front of her setting the table. It says a lot that the number 2 pick in the inaugural softball draft can go hitless in a regional and you win in 3. So Hogs in 3. Way to take care of business, ladies. Super Regionals now, trying to get that first spot in Oklahoma City ever. Courtney Deifel said it 100 times. This team is different. I believe it. Hogs in 2.
Oh.
Hogs in 2.
Oh, no rubber matches.
Yeah, no rubber match. You're coming into Bogle Park and we're the buzzsaw. Hogs in 2.
But for some people who always, when I describe it, this is a lot like the basketball tournament. But just knowing that this is the equivalent of the Sweet 16 in the basketball tournament kind of vibes. Like, that's where we're at. Yeah. If we win this next series against Ole Miss, which is a best of 3, first one to take 2, you are now in the Elite 8 of college softball.
You should look at one win, like advancing, and then 2 wins, even though there's 8 teams. Going to the College World Series in college baseball or college softball is the equivalent of making the Final Four in college basketball.
Yes.
If you make it there, you're going to hang a banner. They're going to remember your team forever. You look at making the College World Series for baseball coaches like you would for Final Fours for basketball coaches. It's a big deal.
It is. For those of you who don't know, like how big of a deal.
Arkansas's never been there as a softball program. Courtney Deifel, it's personal for me at this point. I love Coach Deifel. She needs to be the one that gets us there.
Yeah.
She deserves it.
Not only get us there, we can make. I think we can make a run. This is huge for this team.
It's huge for the program, man, because Courtney Deifel already recruits at a national level. She's already probably the best recruiter in the country, but she doesn't have that maybe elite history to back up what she's doing. This is strictly based on how good a recruiter and how much her teams trust her is the level of recruiting that she's gotten to. Getting to that next level and being able to show recruits that, hey, we got there and we made a run, come be part of this.
Yeah.
Look, Oklahoma has won 4 straight national championships. They're going to be the favorite until they're out. That's how that's going to work. But they weren't the number 1 seed in this year's tournament. That honor went to the Texas A&M Lady Aggies, and they forgot to worry about the Liberty Lady Flames.
Boy, did they.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something, man. There's never been, in the history of college softball, there's never been a number 1 overall seed that didn't make the Super Regional. Now there has been. Hey, check on your baseball and softball fans in College Station, Texas. They are not doing well. The Aggies baseball team was a preseason number 1. They're not going to make the postseason.
Unless they win the tournament.
Unless they win the SEC tournament, they're not going to the postseason. And then you have a number 1 overall seed in softball, just mashing everybody, and you get knocked out in your own regional. Tough.
Tough day to be an Aggie.
You love to see it.
I love it.
Tough day. You love to see it.
Tough day. Sorry, Aggies. Not sorry.
No, not at all. Now, if somebody could just jump up and get Oklahoma twice, that'd be great.
That would save us a lot. Oklahoma is always going to be top dog until they're not. This is our best shot for this team and this program to never make it to Oklahoma City. This team looks like they're destined to do it, and not just get there, but do some damage. They just got to get through Ole Miss, which, yes, they didn't do early in the season, but
they're a completely different team.
Very different.
You wipe that. It means nothing. It really does. And
Excited.
Especially given the fact that you're going into Bogle Park, and that atmosphere is going to be a lot of fun. The fans brought it all weekend, even after the game started 4.5 hours later than supposed, and it was not a light rain. Let's put it that way. So congrats to the ladies. We wouldn't be mad if you went ahead and took it all the way.
Heck no.
We wouldn't be mad if you went
For
ahead
them
and
to
took
be
it
the
all
4
way.
seed, currently Arkansas baseball is the 5 seed.
Well, here's the
That's
thing.
kind of a cool
4 seed's not a 4 seed anymore now that the 1 seed's been taken out.
Yeah.
You're effectively the 3 now
Yeah.
because the 1's been taken out. That's what you want, though. That's why you watch these tournaments. You watch them to pull for your team and to pull for everybody else to get upset.
Yeah.
That's what makes this so much fun for me.
LSU also got eliminated.
Oh, we're real sad about that. Bogle Park, bring it. We got to
Keep
get to
doing it.
Bogle Park, bring it. We got to go to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
And we got to go to Oklahoma City and pair it.
With summer just around the corner, I'm sure you have some health and nutrition goals. Let us here at Happy's Energy and Nutrition meet those goals with you. We do protein shakes at 200 calories, 24 grams of protein, 9 grams of sugar, and they taste like ice cream, so you're cheating without cheating. We also do energy drinks. You see me drinking them every single day on the podcast, loaded with B vitamins, some caffeine, and we use aloe, no sugars. It is absolutely delicious. They are a great meal replacement, energy replacement supplement for you. Come visit us at 11321 West Markham, Suite 1, right next to Wingstop in Little Rock. We're open 7 to 2 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. That's Happy's Energy and Nutrition on West Markham.
With hopefully a trip to Omaha.
I got a good feeling
Me too.
about this. I'm not.
Me too.
I'm
Man.
trying not to overdo it.
Here's the thing, man. Jumping over to baseball, it makes me really proud. I don't think all 2 out of 3s are created equal. When you win 2 out of 3s in a series, I don't put much stock in a team that wins the first 2 games and then loses the third, because that leaves you with a bad feeling. You had a chance to sweep and you didn't, and you're kind of just saying, well, at least we took 2 out of 3. But when you lose that first one, example that Arkansas did not play well on Thursday in game 1 against Tennessee, did not play well in any facet, and loses 10-7, 10 runs on a Thursday, unheard of.
Yeah.
You play really bad defense. You don't pitch well. Offense was good enough, but it doesn't really matter. When you give up 10, you're going to lose.
And against the not ace.
Right. Tennessee pitches off.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep Liam Doyle on normal rest, and so they wanted to pitch him on a Friday. So you get a number 2 on Thursday. So this is your chance theoretically to jump out 1-0.
Yeah.
And they're hoping that their ace gets them through game 2, and then they get to a rubber match and have a chance to take it. So when you lose game 1 and you're staring down the barrel of your ace, or you're staring down the barrel of their ace, maybe the best pitcher in America, probably the SEC pitcher of the year, you're staring down the barrel of that. And not only that, you're trying to keep your number 2 starter on regular rest. So you're going to pitch him on Saturday. So they've caught you on a bullpen day with their ace on the mound. It's not feeling good that you're fixing to take game 2.
No.
Game 2 was tailor-made for Tennessee's going to get a dominant performance from their guy, and we're not going to be able to keep up because we're bullpen and Johnny Holstaff. And that just shows you baseball going to baseball.
Yeah.
And that this team's kind of special. When they put their backs up against the wall, they fought back, and they ripped Liam Doyle all over the yard.
Yeah, they did. It was impressive. Doyle got tattooed, frustrated, started walking people, started leaving balls up. It was a sight. Hogs ended up taking game 2.
You had a stare down from Kahil Aloy, too, at one point.
I saw that.
When
he elbow hit him.
Yeah, when he hit him in the elbow pad, there was a stare down, and then the very next guy took him deep. The very next guy was Ryder Helfrich, which, by the way, have a weekend kid.
Golly. Moved up to the 5 hole.
Have a weekend, kid.
I love it, moving him around a little bit. Also, the diving body cell catch by Brent Iredale, who had to track 60, 70 feet.
Have a weekend. You've been struggling for the past few weeks. Have a weekend.
I'm
kid.
tired of, and I was getting tired of hearing the struggle, and I was kind of joining of like, man, he is so good. He's just a little uncomfortable. The best thing that's happened for this hosting situation too, Will, he struggles severely on the road.
Yeah, that's why it's important that we play at home.
It very much so, because every home run that man has,
he's got 14 of them. That's a lot.
And all 14 are at Bo Walker.
Yeah, it's important that we play at home for old Brent. It's important. So game 2, I called you, and I try not to call during the games.
I'm okay with it.
I try not to call during the games because I'm not okay with it. Like if somebody was to call me during the game, what are you doing? But when the play that Brent Iredale made, diving into foul territory, not just the play that he made, but who he made it against, that was Fisher. That was the
best player,
best home run hitter in the league. And so when a guy check swing fouls one off and you got a chance to go make a play to get him out, you need to make that play because the next pitch could leave the yard.
Yeah.
He goes full extension and has a car crash into the wall.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
first,
pad, by the way, is this thick.
Head first, shoulder first, neck. Like
he folded up.
I've got neck problems, and that made my neck hurt just watching. Like, golly, like I mean, I just thought to myself to be 20-something years old again and just be able to do that and just hop right back up.
Be sore for a little bit, and he's good.
Guys my age would be in traction from what he just did. Neck brace. It was
body brace.
And Dave Van Horn said it after the game. They asked him, like, what was your reaction to the play that Brent Iredale made? He said, my first reaction was, thank God we had a pad over there. I never even thought about it, but it's true. He said, so many of these places don't have padding in foul territory, and they're like all brick, and it looks pretty, but it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So if this had been on the road, what are we talking about? First of all, he's not diving to make that play.
Hopefully.
But if he dives to make the play, it's reconstructive surgery.
Right.
Like that's what we're thinking. It's a face plant into a brick wall. But I called you immediately and I was like, play of the year, and I hung up. I said that was the play of the year and hung up. No disrespect to Vahiva Aloy, who has made play after play defensively, but your body was never in danger.
Right. Not like that.
That was sweet.
He has had those circus catches.
Yeah, that was sweet. Speaking of Vahiva Aloy,
we got to put.
Yeah, we do not own the rights to this music. We do not own the rights to this music. The newly crowned SEC Player of the Year, your starting shortstop for your Arkansas Razorbacks, Vahiva Aloy.
Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations, man.
Unbelievable.
They got it right.
They sure did.
They got it right.
I was getting nervous because the word slump was coming around.
Right, which isn't fair.
But it's not a slump. This is what...
Nobody's slumping when they're hitting 350.
Also, he's not slumping at all. Watch where these pitchers are pitching him. He's getting, for lack of better words, Brielis.
Yeah, and his strikeout numbers have gone up because he's not being patient. Like that.
No. He's getting frustrated.
He's not being patient, and that's easily fixable. Like Tony Gwynn, one of the greatest hitters of all time, the late great Tony Gwynn, rest in peace. The most meaningful thing I ever heard him say: "If you swing at shit, you get shit."
Yeah,
and he's just swinging too much.
Yeah, he's getting frustrated. Pitchers are throwing him low and away. That's all they're doing. Because what happens when you hang one on any way, shape, or form, he's put it in the middle in.
Or middle away. When he's swinging it well, he goes backside as good as anybody.
So he's getting frustrated because ball's just falling out of the bottom of the zone in the corner and getting impatient. Beginning of the year, he was the most patient guy. And then when they knew who he was, watch how a catcher lines up when Vahiva gets in the box.
Yeah, and it's easily fixable, man. Just take your walk and just take your walk and let the guy behind you, who's usually your brother's a couple steps behind you.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's normally Maxwell.
Just let the guys behind you take care of it. You're gonna get now. There's no sneaking up on anybody. You're the SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Every scouting report says don't let this guy beat us.
I had heard on the broadcast that he had fallen almost to the second round in projections.
That's ridiculous.
Are you kidding? He's the best shortstop in the country.
I'm here to tell you, if you need a shortstop and you don't take Vahiva Aloy in the first round, that's a mistake. He can play shortstop at the big league level. The power, like you're going to get a legit 5-tool guy.
Isn't it kind of crazy to have him come right behind Battles?
Well, the shortstops in general. I mean, you go all the way back. I mean, he had, even on his worst teams, he had, I remember like a Ben Shepacall. We had Michael Bernal was a great shortstop.
Yeah.
He had Jax Biggers. Dave Van Horn has always had good shortstops. He said it as much during one of the mid-game interviews that when you combine defense with offense, nobody's been better.
Oh,
as far as a 5-tool guy at the shortstop position, when you play a premium position that you're going to have to make plays on defense and combine that with his offense, that's what you get. You get SEC Player of the Year. The congratulations video from the last SEC Player of the Year that we had 10 years ago, Andrew Benintendi.
Yeah.
Who, for my money, best Razorback I've ever seen. To have him reach out and congratulate Vahiva is big league. That's great.
Yeah.
I love once a Razorback, always a Razorback. I love that these guys that are gone pay attention. Benintendi's looking at about an 8 or 9 year big league career at this point, and he still takes time to reach back. Yeah. Great stuff. Congratulations, Vahiva.
Absolutely. Well deserved.
Now let's talk about game 3, because I have a specific time that I want to get to. The first thing we have to talk about is, again, going back, Ryder Helfrich. Have a weekend, kid. The highest home run I have ever seen in my life.
The launch angle was ridiculous.
Ended up being a grand slam. This dude literally hit the ball 106 miles an hour straight on the bottom. I mean, straight up a silo. And the left fielder lost it and never found it until he literally saw it land in the bullpen.
Yeah.
He had his hands up and then it landed in the bullpen and you saw him throw his hands up. A grand slam home run to break things open. You had what they're calling a controversial balk call. Little Tony was being little Tony, losing his mind. By the way, it was a balk. It was a balk. The reason that it was a balk was because it was completely different than his other pickoff moves.
Okay.
Completely different. And I saw the knee, like
kind of
they made it sound like he buckled his knee. That's not what the guy was. The front leg kind of leaned towards the plate, and that constitutes a balk.
Okay.
If you lean towards the plate, it's considered deceiving the runner, which is what a balk is competing against. These guys never had a call go against them that was the right call, though. Never had a call go against them. Tennessee, this is a shtick at this point.
Yeah, it's got to be.
We just complain about everything. We got guys going back to the dugout. After they're down 0-2, guys got to go back to the dugout and change their helmet because their helmets while they're down 0-2.
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Okay, this is what I wanted to get to.
Is it something to do with a guy named McIntyre?
Yeah, this is what because you could hand out a lot of game balls this weekend. And this is a guy that only pitched once. But from the 6th inning to the 9th inning on game 3, everything changed. Willie Mack was talking his shit, boy. Mack hasn't had the greatest year by his standards.
Yeah, he hadn't got to play a lot.
But it doesn't matter more to anyone on this planet that the Razorbacks win than Will McIntyre.
Yes.
We're talking about a 60-year guy who has literally gone on record as saying, I'm not back for me. I'm back because I've done everything there is to do in this uniform. He said, I've been to regionals, I've been to super regionals, I've been to Omaha. The only thing I haven't done is bring us a national championship. And it's time for that to happen. So we root for this kid because he's ours.
Right.
He's one of us.
I mean, shoot, I live in his hometown.
Yeah. Bryan, Arkansas. Shout out. Woo woo. This dude gave Tennessee a taste of their own medicine.
Yes,
and let me tell you, their fans didn't like it.
At all.
They didn't like it. And now you know how everybody else feels. Yeah, bums. And I know what they're going to say. Kiss the ring. You ain't got one. Not yet. Loading.
McIntyre, this guy's down 0-2, goes to the dugout and starts complaining about his helmet and needs a new helmet. or tightening of some sort of a helmet situation.
Runs to the dugout for a new helmet, and you can see McIntyre laughing at him.
Yeah, you know that this is an antic that they've done numerous times.
This is a free offensive timeout to try to, in theory, throw off the rhythm of the pitcher.
Right. And this team is notorious. If we're going to talk about this team is notorious for some sort of an antic. There was in 2 innings of baseball in the first game, the starting pitcher, I think he picked off 15 times in the first 2 innings or something like that. It was a crazy number. So I get every other just to check your runners, but 2 to 3 in a row.
He literally checked over 4 times in a row on a guy that had no stolen bases all year. He's not going anywhere.
They're doing these prolonging, annoying little things, trying to get in your head. They try to plant these little seeds if they can. They flex. They're going to talk their shit. And now that they're down. I literally
watched Fisher. This is unbelievable to me, and I don't mean to cut you off. I watched Fisher. Chris Burke brought it up. Andrew Fisher is a guy that will take a pitch, look over to the opposing dugout, and show the grip of the pitch that he just took, just to show him that he knows what pitch it was. Why? Don't look in the other dugout. Don't even acknowledge the other dugout. Because you know what happens if you look in my dugout and say anything to my dugout? You know what happens 20 years ago?
You're wearing the next one.
This next one coming is your ear hole. This is not okay. And his coach just sits there and says, hey, my guys are competing. No, they're not. That has nothing to do with competing.
Player down 0-2 goes and gets his new helmet to frustrate McIntyre, who then sets him down.
On the very next pitch.
Very next pitch, strike 3.
Very next pitch, paint job. And we have a Hall of Fame gif from now on.
The camera pans back to a fired up Will McIntyre, who just says, I love you.
Yeah, totally. Let's just say, what do the kids say now in NSFW? Not safe for work. That's what we're dealing with.
Dropped the best FU bomb.
Yeah, there was, and
so hype flexing. Oh,
there was a 4-letter word that he stuck it, man. I'm talking about he stuck it, and proceeds to strike the next guy out and is let's go. You know, he's a fire breathing dragon at this point.
Yes. Will McIntyre
faced 11 hitters, sat down 11 in a row. He's a 6-year senior. This is the last regular season game he's ever going to pitch at Baum Walker. I'm so glad that he's got that memory
for forever.
That you were that guy. And let's just say there was audio that picked up after the game where he's going through the handshake line and he said some other not safe for work stuff. A good thing I wasn't at work because I freaking loved it.
It was incredible.
But
I loved it.
Turn me up, Unc. Now, let me go ahead and tell you. DVH, if you watch the We'll See You Later podcast, this is a suggestion for you because I know you need them. If we're in a super regional in a couple of weeks and we have a lead where you can afford to put McIntyre in the game and send us to Omaha, he has to be the guy to make the last out.
Yeah.
He has to be the guy to record the last out because I want that injected into my veins.
Absolutely. Whatever he's on, I want it. That man took 4 scoops of pre-workout before he stepped out there.
Oh, my God. Wild. And then to find out, like you see video of his entire family was there. His dad ran out of the stands and they're high-fiving each other, hugging. Like, man, people tell me sports don't matter. Watch this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Watch this kind of stuff and tell me that doesn't matter. Now, big picture, this is what this weekend meant. You win 2 out of 3. We told you last week. Win 2 out of 3. Take all the pressure off yourself. You're a national seed.
Yeah, we're a top 8.
Arkansas,
right now we're 5.
Arkansas will be a top 8. They will spend their entire postseason at home until if and when they qualify for Omaha. That's not a question anymore. That is sewn up. If it's not, we riot.
Did that last hailstorm damage your vehicle? Don't stress no more. Our friends at Finished Dentless Hail Repairs got you covered. Up to $500 off your deductible. Give them a call at 501-422-4161. That is Finished Dentless Hail Repair out of Little Rock. And let them know that the We'll See You Later podcast sent you.
Baseball rankings have dropped out on ESPN.
Yep.
Currently, LSU stays at 1. Texas goes from 3 to 2. North Carolina goes from 4 to 3. Oregon hops up from 5 to 4. Arkansas jumps from 8 to 5. Florida State falls from 2 to 6. Oregon State stays at 7. Auburn falls just 2 spots after a terrible looking performance.
Yeah, not just getting beat in 2 games. They got beat up by Ole Miss.
Yeah, Vandy stays at 9, Georgia 10. Other notables, if this stays the way it is currently, which it's not going to, it can't, it just won't. Arkansas would be paired with Southern Miss, but we still have a lot of baseball.
Give me
left.
that though.
That regional.
Give me that.
I'm okay with that.
You mean to tell me we get a Sun Belt team to go to Omaha?
Southern Miss dropped.
No disrespect to the Fun Belt, but you've been bad this year.
They jumped from 19 to 12. Big jump.
I think
UC Irvine dropped from 12 to 20.
Yeah, UC Irvine they lost 2 out of 3 at home to a bad Cal State Fullerton team. Like that killed their chances of hosting, which is sad because I wanted to get in that regional.
Ole Miss is at 17 right now. They jumped up from non-rankings after beating Auburn pretty bad. Florida is at 15. Tennessee drops to 21. They are no longer going to be a host.
No disrespect to D1, but let's not worry about the rankings. Beyond that point, there is no way when these rankings come out next Monday that Vanderbilt's not hosting. That Vanderbilt's not a national seed. There's no way.
Yeah, Vandy should be ahead of Auburn.
No way that Vandy's not hosting. You heard it here first. Arkansas sweep at Vandy keeps looking better and better. And
Vandy
better.
looks legit, bro.
To me, Vandy's a top 4 seed. You could argue to me the top 4 seeds in no particular order are Texas, Arkansas, Vandy, and North Carolina.
LSU?
North Carolina.
Wow.
Just because not because I think North Carolina is better than LSU. I just think North Carolina has been the rock of the ACC all year long.
Yeah, they showed it against Florida State.
They need to be rewarded for just being good all year long. They're a lot like Arkansas's been in the SEC all year, just really good all year. This is not the way things are going to look. It's SEC tournament week.
Yes. Let's talk about the SEC tournament.
The games start tomorrow. The lower seed games start tomorrow. If we're talking just strictly Arkansas is paired with Florida versus South Carolina tomorrow.
4:30.
And then the winner of that will get Ole Miss on Wednesday. And I think Arkansas plays the winner of that game on Friday.
Yes. 3 p.m. Here's the crazy part. We have to kind of project that we would imagine that Florida, as hot as they've been, is probably going to beat South Carolina.
And with South Carolina being as bad as they are.
Yeah, like Florida started 1-11.
Yeah. Florida started 1-11. Finished league play at 15-15. Kevin O'Sullivan, that's unbelievable, man. That's
14-4?
14-4 in the last half to get you back to 5. You were you were dead.
1-11.
You were dead. 1-11, dead to the world.
And when it turned around?
When they beat us.
When they beat us. The crazy part is having Florida and Ole Miss. Florida being so hot. And then Ole Miss is 17th right now, according to D1, on the fringe of hosting. Florida's 15.
Yeah.
So they're both fighting for a host.
Yeah. So this game means a lot. The Florida and beating South Carolina and getting to play Ole Miss is a big deal. They need to take care of business against South Carolina, which I think they will.
Yes.
But that Florida Ole Miss game to set up who Arkansas plays on Friday, big deal.
Big game.
And then the team that plays Arkansas in the next round is looking for that little extra nudge.
Just to get you in there.
Yeah.
Or to keep you in it for Florida.
You know how to get you there is to beat Arkansas.
It's a scary little matchup.
Right. So
as you got two teams fighting for something in an Arkansas team that technically isn't.
Look, if you're a top 4 team, you love this new format. That it's single elimination, so you can only lose once. And it's just a weekend series. You play 3 games. It's not going to gut your pitching. You're not going to have any of this stupid double elimination stuff. It's straightforward, just win or go home.
Yep.
Arkansas could, every spot matters. If they could go on a run and maybe if they win this tournament, it's 1 or 2 as far as seeding.
Oh yeah.
If you win this tournament,
if we so happen to beat Ole Miss or Florida, we'll probably get Auburn or LSU.
The competitor in me,
I want LSU.
Wants LSU one more time.
But we haven't seen Auburn, so I kind of want to see that too.
The competitor in me wants LSU one more time because it'll be LSU's second game, which means you'll get Anthony Ianson again. And Einstein made us look foolish at Alex Box Stadium. And the competitor in me also wants Texas in the finals, because I would love to say, look, you're 2-2 against LSU now and 4-0 against the supposed number one seed.
Yeah.
Now you have to be number one, no matter what the conference standings say. Like, I get it. Right now, Texas is would be your number one overall seed, I think, if the brackets came out today, because they won the toughest conference in America. That's the feather in your cap, that you won the toughest conference in America by 2 games. If Arkansas gets a chance to go 4-0 against that team, and then you end up going 4-0, to me, that trumps that, and Arkansas becomes your number one seed.
Easily.
Now, they don't ask me for a vote, because they know I'd be biased.
Head to head, though, has to matter.
Well, that's the thing that pissed everybody off, is for a little while it didn't seem like that 3-game sweep in Fayetteville meant much to the voters.
Yeah.
Because Texas didn't move much, and Arkansas was barely moving as far as moving upward.
Right.
But now it's a moot point, because the difference between 1 and 8, there really is none.
None.
See, here's the thing. SEC tournament week.
It's just going to be exciting.
Yeah, and what we're excited about is the SEC tournament ends on Sunday. They'll announce the regional host sites on Sunday evening.
Right.
You'll know the host cities. They'll go through all the 16 host cities.
You won't know a seeding.
You won't know a seeding. We're going live on Monday for Selection Monday.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, guys.
Big deal to us. We're kind of nervous about it.
Yeah, because now I got to watch what I say. I can't say that one word.
You can't say a bunch of those, and you can't, like, if we mess up, we can be like, we'll edit that out. We can't do that.
Yeah. Like, you guys are going to get to see us make mistakes.
Yeah,
next
and you
Monday
can talk trash about
what's
it,
going to
too.
happen. And
You can also comment who your favorite is.
and and why is it me? Like, we would love to hear, who's your favorite and why is it me?
All that to say, woo pig suey.
Yeah,
And we can't wait to keep it going.
It was a great week, but big things are coming.
It is.
What's up, guys? This is Willie Ray from the We'll See You Later podcast. We're excited to say, as always, that this episode is brought to you by our friends at Liberton Home Repairs. Liberton Home Repairs right here in Little Rock. Quality home repair service that you can trust. Give them a call at 405-600-8363. That's 405-600-8363 for Liberton Home Repairs. Be sure and tell them that the guys over at the We'll See You Later podcast sent you.
I do have a question, though. I know we're going to sidebar it. This isn't a would you rather, but it's a legit question that's ran through my mind.
Oh, because that's always fun.
What is one thing that growing up as a child that your parents were like, that's a no-go in this household, you ain't doing that? What is one of the first things you did that they told you is a no-no in their house?
Tattoos.
Tattoos.
I'm covered in them.
Yeah. But that was your big moment.
Yeah, my mom took me to get my first tattoo. It was literally it was my 19th birthday. We were driving past the tattoo shop, and I said, I want a tattoo. She took me to get a tattoo. I literally picked one off the wall, a little cross off the wall, and they put it on my upper arm. That has since been covered up and added into a much bigger, elaborate 10 out of 10 piece. Shout out to my girl Amy at Love Spell Tattoo in the Argenta region of downtown Little Rock. That was the first thing I did where it was an absolute no-go in my house.
Yeah. I'm a lot more simple than just tattoos. Drinking out of the milk carton at night.
Oh man. that was freedom, wasn't it?
Yes, I still do it to this day.
Yeah, that was freedom, wasn't it? Jerry Seinfeld had a skit back in the day where he said, the best part of being an adult is if I want a cookie, I have a cookie.
That's right.
And he said, many times I will intentionally ruin my entire appetite. And then I'll call my mom and say, hey, I just ruined my entire appetite.
That's right.
Cookies.
Yeah.
Like the freedom to just be a complete slob sometimes.
Yeah. It's a good thing and bad thing.
It is. I mean, I would my mom watches this podcast every week, and I'm here to tell you she would slap me right across the face if I tried to do that at my my mom would be in jail today for what these kids are not letting their parents get away with. If I drink out of the milk carton and my mom catches me,
I'm dead.
Instant beat down.
That's what whenever I take a swig out of the carton, the little kid inside me is laughing.
Yeah.
Like I have
Freedom.
the maniacal evil laugh.
Freedom.
And then I put it down. That's a take that, mom for the rest of my
If we're
life.
talking simple stuff, or like just staying up late as I want to,
Yeah.
or like turning the music up as loud as I want to, as late as I want to.
Yeah.
Like
I just had a moment the other day, and I grabbed the carton, and I was like,
Yeah.
I looked at the, and I was like, I don't want to dirty a cup. And so I was just like, man.
Neanderthal.
And as soon as I put it back in the fridge, like I knew that my mom, if she would have seen that, would have chewed me out. And I was like, I felt like I got one there. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just makes us feel like a man at 35. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm old enough to know better, still too young to care.
Yeah, just that was, they got me the other day. So I was like, I wonder what a moment got Will or got somebody. So if you have a moment that we did not say here, what would be something that your parents was like, no, and don't be gross. I know that people are going to go that route.
Because my mind did.
I had to preference to Will like a legit normal, not crazy goober thing. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully one of the last episodes that you're just seeing as a recording. Next week, terrified to see how this goes, but we're going to be going live.
Oh man, it's going to be a beautiful disaster. It really
Yeah.
is. But that's what we're shooting for, guys. We have a really just a fun vibe planned where
We do.
You know, it's going to be a really big day. It's like for baseball nerds like us, it's like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
You have it right there in front of you. Here's the road to Omaha.
And then we get to react. I'm super excited for it.
Before we get out of here, Selection Show does air at 11 a.m. on Monday. So if you're wherever you are, it'll air at 11 a.m. on Monday, I think on ESPN2. So you should be able to get it on the ESPN app. If you want to get a look at the bracket that we will be breaking down before the show starts, I know we'll be glued to it.
We will be.
Maybe we'll go live on Facebook or something for
Instagram, Facebook, something.
Yeah.
We will go live just to kind of see the bracket. I'll be up here at Happy's working, so Will might have to be the one doing it.
No, I'll come up here.
Okay. But thank you guys, and thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Liberton Home Repair. Thank you to Foul Play Golf and Garrett over at Finished Dentless Hair Repair. And of course, as always, Happy's Energy and Nutrition, the best energy and nutrition on the planet.
Hey, will you make me an energy tea?
I will, right when we get done.
Okay. I'm excited.
Before you guys get out of here, there are 3 things that you need to live by, and you will live a better life, I promise you. Number 1, don't piss into the wind. Number 2, especially moving forward, hogs by a million.
And 90 won't cut it.
And 3rd, and probably the most important, never, ever, ever trust a fart.
Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.